In today's video, let's talk about days on the market. And I think days on the market can be kind of confusing, especially for newer agents who only been through like hectic market like 2021, everything selling in the first 2 days, in some cases on the same day. If you're used to that kind of market, you as a seller too, or the buyer, you might feel like the current market feels like sluggish, like very slow-mo kind of market. But the reality is, this is norm, guys. This is very norm. The opposite end was when I experienced in 2008, 9, 10, homes sat on the market for like 10 months. That was norm back then. And then if we fast forward to 2015, it kind of started getting accelerated a little bit. Things were sitting at around like 90 days ish. 2016, it got reduced like 2 months 2 months days on the market, so things were selling much faster. And then we go to 2020, 21. The mortgage rate is below 3%. People are lined up, getting 20 offers, getting 50 offers on one offer. And some sellers will purposely underprice like 20% below market, and it just explodes with the buyers lining up. And we went through that, unfortunately. If you got a property during that time at sub 3, I think you got lucky as long as you didn't overpay. If you overpay, you're at the peak of this like kind of dangerous zone. You might be underwater right now. But if you don't have to sell right now, I mean, you have a good rate, you can just hold on to it for the next 10 years. That's not a problem at all. But right now, things are going like, buyers are saying, well, things are sitting on the market for like 60 days. What's happening on those listings? But the reality is, because of the low number of home buyers, because less people can afford mortgages at this high mortgage rate environment, things are going back to normal. So when you see, like, for example, here, Washington County, days on the market is about 60 days here. That's average. The median days is much less right now, which means that the market is picking up. The sold is about 27 median, 72 days average. So average, it takes about 2 months and a half to sell a property. And some homes, for example, if you're not falling into this 177 home in 2 weeks out of like 700 active listings, which is what, 1 out of every 3, maybe 4 homes. If you don't make the top listing, winning top value to buyers' eyes, you're going to sit there for a little bit. And sometimes that's not that bad thing. I mean, it just, especially the property is really unique, it just takes more time to find the right buyer. If it's a cookie cutter, yeah, you probably want to sell it within 30 days. So this is one of the reasons why I don't rush my sellers to do the price cut after first 2 weeks or 3 weeks. That was kind of like the norm when the market was moving faster, meaning there are enough buyers in the market. If we priced well, we should have gotten an offer by week 3. That was like the mindset in 2018, 19. And that was the right assumption, because after that, just, traffic just dies out. But right now, even though you don't get a lot of offers or you don't get a lot of traffic in the first, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks, that doesn't mean you have to do a price cut right at that 3-week mark like we did in 2018. Right now, the number of buyers, it feels like to me only about 30% of the normal market. For example, 2019, let's say, if there were about 50 home buyers for one listing who might show up during like open house or set up a private showing, right now that number is close to like 20, maybe less than 20. So those 20 buyers, it's going to take for them to find out about the listings and then set up a showing and everything. and they're kind of on the fence because of that low affordability, which means it's really expensive to buy homes right now. So buyers are being really, really careful. That's the other reason why we have the highest transaction fail rates right now countrywide, which means that more buyers are canceling the deals after the inspection. Now let's talk about that a little bit. Because affordability is low, because it's expensive to buy homes, buyers are really cash poor. They have to come up with a down payment, the closing cost. Sometimes you can negotiate the closing costs with the seller so you don't have to bring it, but you have to at least assume that you may have to pay it in case the seller doesn't give you that. So when the finance is really tight, there are like 15 like repair items pop up during home inspection. It's very like overwhelming to buyers' mind. Buyers think like this: I scrape all the money that I have to buy this. I don't have any extra money to fix up these 15 repair items. If one is roof that needs to go and seller doesn't, give you any credit or do the repairs for them, buyers just lose confidence. In my opinion, like roofing, HVAC, sewer line, maybe siding, and foundation are probably top 5 deal killers in Portland, Oregon. So, let's say even like small items, let's say like dry rot, that costs maybe $1,000 at max. Let's say dirty carpet, yeah, it's $5,000. When there's a lot of cheap money, buyers don't think that that's a big deal because I can just put it. When the money is expensive right now, at close to 5 and close to 6% now. Again, buyers can't think like that because money is tight. That's why I think, in my opinion, right now, if you're a seller, you have to be a lot more flexible. I'm not saying give everything that the buyers ask for, but find a way to make your property more digestible for the buyers, because buyers of the tight financing, maybe this is time that you might want to give some credit for some of those items. Maybe willing to take on 1 or 2, repairs. Do the repairs before you close, so that buyers can actually feel like they don't have to cancel the deal. They can actually live here. They can afford it. And so going back to the DOM, days on the market, and this is again, I think 60 days is okay. You're kind of in average, at least you are in the market, but you don't want to be the bottom value home in your neighborhood. Meaning, I'll give you this example again. So, in Washington County, in the last 2 weeks, there's about 159 homes sold in the last 2 weeks. Right now, there are about 700 homes on the market right now, right? So you have to be at least number 1 or number 2 in your neighborhood, in your the real estate category, or the other way to put it is a buyer search category. In the buyer search category, let's say under $700,000, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, in like say Westview High School, you wanna be at least within the top 20%, maybe 30% of the competing listings when it comes to condition, location, feature, updates, or price. Price fixes everything, right? And so you have to show the value to the home buyers in this kind of market. And like I said, this is norm. We just went through too much of this like very hectic kind of market. Everything sell within 1 day kind of market. But I've been selling 18 years. I've seen like slow as molasses, is how you guys say it. I've seen that market. I've seen slower than current market, and now I saw super fast market, and now I see this. And to me, this is when the sellers have to prepare for about 3 to 4 months marketing time and selling time. If you get really good traffic and sell it in the first week, that's awesome. But sometimes you have to kind of sit on the market to find the right buyer. The more unique the property, the longer you have to be that. So you have to sort of like have a preparation of a long haul sort of. I would recommend 2 months. I mean, it's painful to show for homes for 2 months, but you have to kind of make it easy for yourself. But you have to bring a lot of buyers. That's what I'm trying to say. So don't just I say, at least I can't really tell you because I don't know if you are already working with other agents or not. But for my sellers, I don't want to rush my sellers on price cut after 3 weeks. If it's like if there's no one showing up to see the house, then maybe we need to. But if there's like couple showings a week, that's when you want to kind of watch the market and see how it goes, and if somebody loves your property. So that's what I wanted to share. So don't rush that price cut. Be a little bit more relaxed. Have about 2 to 3 months marketing time, because that's what average marketing time tells us in the Portland Metro right now in 2026. What else? And be competitive. Be the top 20% of the listing category. So hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about Portland, Oregon, house selling, marketing time, how to prep homes, how to downsize at one shot, anything like that, please give me a call, 503-515-4499. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.